Back inside the BHi St Catharines ball hockey tent. We thank our live viewers for sticking with us today. We've had a number of connection issues, but if you're watching in the archives or on DVD, we thank you for watching as well. We return to the Peewee division here today, 3 o'clock. The game, spring teaser in the Youth Ontario Cup, presented by Ball Hockey International on JVI Sports Network, supported by Bauer and their new Bauer Indoor Hockey Ball. And we are underway. The St. Kitts Snipers, our second time watching them in action today. Their yellow shirts, they occupy the home bench this time. Their starting goaltender, Dylan McFadden. And the red jerseys with the black lettering on the visitors' bench, the Red Light Rebels. Earlier today, it was the Snipers coming from behind to beat the Niagara Regals. Or, pardon me, the Niagara Rampage 6-4. As the Snipers were down a number of times in that game, and it was the play of Dylan McFadden in net, stepping up to save the day for St. Kitts. As there's a shot, and McFadden early on is going to cover up. That was their play earlier in the afternoon. Again, visiting team, the Red Light Rebels in red, the hometown, the St. Kitts Snipers in the yellow. And it will be the Rebels winning that face-off and getting it out in front, though stolen away. One of the spark plugs for this team, Sammy Lockyer, down the far side, also giving chase. Into the corner, spinning off, Marcus Harris. Sammy Lockyer again, out in front, spinning and firing that one off the leg pads. And Cameron Eek tried to return around, but Austin Robbins gets there first. McFadden out of the net to poke check it away. Brendan Rooch. Rooch here, comes up for Desorian. And Desorian. McFadden has to slide to his left as Rooch is on the doorstep. Rooch comes out from behind the net, takes the shot, and McFadden again covers up. Minute 39 in, and we're at that interesting age level in Peewee where the first-year Peewees haven't yet hit their growth spurts, and some who are in the later Peewee age have, and some distinct size disadvantages or advantages depending on which bench you're on. Face-off won and controlled there. Matthew Carrick joined by Chad Asseltine here as we continue our day-long coverage, weekend-long, as Gilmet takes the shot from outside. That one took a long time. Josh Gilmet, one of those guys who, the early growth spurt in the late years of Peewee, took the shot from center line, and it bounced around for a while in on McFadden before finally finding its way through. That took about 4 or 5 seconds. Cameron Laprise, first man into the corner. Holden Albano behind him. Laprise again. Shovel it back, and again it finds its way on net. McFadden has to come out with the save. Anthony Legault can't catch up, and it's out of the reach of the defender there. We met the goal scorer to stick on it behind the net. And Wilmette gets up, and it's stolen away. Owen Day. Owen Day wheels around the check of Wilmette. Gets up, and the bench asks him to hammer it. He does, but it's just away from the net. Loose in front, and Tim Struick, starting goaltender for the Rebels, watches that one go behind his net. Wilmette is back there again. Here is Jack Hubers. Hubers, Wilmette goes after the ball carrier. He turns away. They've got a player in on the crease. A quick shot there, and Stewart is going to cover up and hang on with a couple snipers hovering in on the crease.
The size differential is really reminding me of something I was told. I believe that the St. Kitts Snipers are the team that's predominantly made up of Adam players. But because the Adam division wasn't able to go this weekend, they said that they had some older brothers who could jump on the team and play with them. So there's predominantly Adam age players playing with a few Peewee age players in the Peewee division here.
Well, they held their own in our opening game against the Niagara Rampage.
Yeah, and won.
6-4, led, as we said, off the opener by Dylan McFadden. And the Lockyer clan. I think the entire line is Lockyers, and they've been pretty good, especially Sammy. Looks like the smaller of the group there, but always seems to be where the ball is. Whistle stops play and get a face-off back down the floor. And it'll be a face-off to the right of Sturrock. They lean in and bit of a scrum there. Owen Lockyer. That's it. It goes up into the visitors' bench, touched by the Rebels, and we'll have another face-off. This one will come, looks like, outside the line. The official says outside, no zone. And as soon as everyone gets on the correct sides, he quickly drops that ball. Jump ball here as Owen Lockyer's in there again. Austin Robbins unable to come up with it, so the Snipers will chase. Right at center floor, Cole Smith runs under it, steps into a shot off a couple bodies in front. McFadden was down as that ball bounced around. Robbins trying to get back to it again. It's Roosh. Roosh in the corner. Defender on him. They did have a shooter in front when it comes back up for Smith. Marcus Harris sneaks in front of him and steals that ball away. And it rolled off the stick of Smith. It comes back for Owen Day. Robbins again. Gets it around Owen Lockyer. Nice job getting through by the defender. Azu Soren bats it in. It's hung up in the neutral zone here as Roosh finally gets it through. Robbins with McFadden down. They had Roosh open, but it just goes wide. Roosh out of the corner. 4.5 to play in the opening period here. As Roosh has that roll off his stick, and a 3-on-2 breakout here for the Snipers, but the last forward back. Now it's a 3-on-2 the other way, and this was the Snipers were in danger of that with the Rampage, and it bites them again as the quick goal for the Rebels.
I've also noticed that the Snipers are missing an impact player from their previous game, Spencer Smith. Red Light Rebels just controlled that ball down low, able to get it in the corner, put it out, find the man open in front, and just tucked her home. Nothing McFadden can do on that one.
There was Roosh in front. He spent most of that shift down on the crease, and now McFadden comes out to play it into the corner. Calling for it in front, banging the stick, PJ Salasidis. Dumping it in, heading off, Sammy Lockyer. He was staring down Josh Quimet.
Looks like he took a stick right in the foot. Seems maybe just between that the protection from your shoe and the shin pad.
Racing over Guillemette gets out there again, and the ball finds its way in back. At the Peewee level, that is quite the body to get the shot around.
Yeah.
Nice defensive job there as they had Salicides streaking in alone, but the defender back got in the passing lane, and Guillemette will now try and start it back again. Jordan Marconi, I believe, getting it through, backing off. Caleb Lockyer. Guillemette gives chase down to the goal line. Marconi. Marconi loses it for Salicides. Here's Salicides again. 2:40 to play here in the opening period. And down low, Salicides in front. McFadden's going to cover up. The whistle does go as they continue to bang. But nothing more will come of that as Salicides gets up. And the official asks McFadden about contact or his condition. Two and a half to play. Race is on between O'Sorin and a member of the Snipers. Down in the corner. Stolen off the stick of Marcus Harris by O'Sorin. And Marconi now going for the poke check. Laprice is there. And Owen Lockyer gets in the way. Cole Smith trying to keep it in the neutral zone. Smith from outside looked like perhaps offside, and now the forwards do touch up at the blue line. McFadden made the save anyways. As it comes up for the Snipers. Here's Harris. Just unable to find Owen Day. And feeding it through far side, Sammy Lockyer. Pardon me, as they turn back, it's Dawson Abrahams. We haven't actually seen Sammy Lockyer since that shot off the foot. But there are 4 players on the bench. Of course, Spencer Smith. We haven't seen him out in this game. A dominant force, the hat trick. In that opening game, it was him and Dylan McFadden that brought St. Kitts all the way back in. Marconi's going to run it back behind his own net. Up for Cole Smith. Gets there just in time to keep it on the correct side of the line. Spinning shot by Anthony Legault. Again, sweeping the stick over just in time. Nope, the official says that it went out by O'Sorin. As he couldn't keep it in, took the shot anyway, so the face-off will come to the Rebels' side of center. 50.8 remains in the opening period. It's a 2-0 lead early on here for the Rebels. Face-off in front of the bench. It was one before that ball could hit down. And now finally won and controlled by the Snipers. And they come in offside. Those Cameron Eek was chasing that. And now we do see Sammy Lockyer back out there. .1 Shadbacher on the face-off. It goes deep into the corner. Digging for it. Owen Dobbin is in there. Dobbin comes away with it. Looks to go to the front of the net. Owen Lockyer, the man there to dump it free. And Sammy Lockyer gets it on center. And he's going to go around Guillemette. Bouncing it off the boards. You can tell that Sammy Lockyer used to being one of the smallest players. But that size disadvantage not fair. In the corner we come again. Sammy Lockyer in front. And the siren is going to go as Cameron Eek touches up. but it'll be a 2-0 lead for the visiting squad, the Red Light Rebels. St. Kitts came back in their opener. We'll see if they can do it again on the other side of this break.
Academy of Learning College has identified the gap between education and the stressors of the working world. We develop customized programs for each student at an affordable cost. Students can choose from over 30 diploma and certificate programs offered at any of Academy of Learning College's 17 Ontario-based locations. Simply a better way to learn. Learn more at academyoflearning.com.
And we are back inside the tent. BHi St Catharines for the spring teaser in the Youth Ontario Championship. Youth Ontario Cup, rather, and round robin play here this afternoon. Peewee Division on the JVI Sports Network, presented by Bauer. Matthew Carrick, joined by Chad Asseltine as we are in the second period. 2-goal lead for the Red Light Rebels. They are the home squad. The visiting squad. Red Light Rebels are in their red and black uniforms. And a wraparound attempt by the home team. The St. Kitts Snipers as they take a swipe at it. And racing out, another odd man rush. But the active stick there by Abrahams. And Abrahams is going to just dump it in. And covering that one up is Tim Struick.
That was a good play at that red line. He was able to attack the ball, keep it in. Good call by the referee, kept play alive, and a shot occurred.
Still no Spencer Smith if you're with us for our opening game. The hat trick from the outside.
The hat trick, the stick handling, the ability to get up the ball, to get the ball up the floor on his own. It's a big loss in this game. You can see the impact. But even with that loss, the Snipers are still playing well. They're still in this game.
Offensively, defensively, and the size that he adds to this team. You mentioned a couple Adam players, and they may need that size as there's a few bigger bodies on the floor for the Rebels. And by bigger, I mean bigger than the Rampage team that they faced this morning. Definitely bigger than the Snipers as well. Face-off won by the Rebels. It's Gilmet who's going to lift it out to center. Keeping it in there and dumping it down was Lockyer. Gets it to the far side. Stick handling in on Gilmet. They are keeping the play alive, and Gilmet content just to hold his player there. As I was saying before, you could see that Sammy Lockyer has kind of adapted his game to being the smaller guy. He's probably the smaller guy wherever else he plays, and Gilmet's probably the bigger guy wherever he plays. He's adapted his game to a nice job to just hold the player there and not make body contact and take penalties.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed throughout this game. He doesn't take any chances with the players. He does recognize that he's the bigger boy out here. Doesn't have to play a physical game to win the battles. But he still uses his size very well. He's very strong on his stick. He wins those battles, gets the ball. And he just gave the little Sammy Lockyer a nice little tap on the head as he went by.
Well, there was a play. You weren't with us for it, but Sammy Lockyer and, Josh Gilmet, they went one-on-one racing down, and Sammy, to his credit, chipped it around the defender and then beat him in a foot race. So that was the point I was making. You could tell that he's done that before, recognizing the size disadvantage that Sammy's at, but then we see it again over in the corner with Gilmet just doing just enough to keep the player off the ball and win that loose ball battle, but not crossing the line, because when you are a bigger body, it is easier to, the smallest little thing, get the referee to notice you and get the penalty call. Here's a 3-on-1 though for the Rebels. That shot, it goes wide of McFadden. And again, it was McFadden in the first game, called upon mostly because of the odd man rushes that the Snipers were giving up. And here's Robbins. And Robbins upset at himself on that play as the stick knocked out of the hands of Marcus Harris. Dobbin feeding it through. Abrahams was behind him. Robbins' shot goes up into the cage. Far side for Austin Robbins again. And it's dumped down in front. This could be a breakaway for the Snipers. They score. Sturek had gone down. He was trapped a bit far back in his crease. I'm not sure who that is that came in and scored, but definitely won the foot race.
Throughout the game and a half now, we've watched the Snipers really see this chip and chase as something they use out of their own zone a lot. The wingers chip up on the pinching defenseman, and here we're able to see just a nice shot above the goaltender's glove as he goes down into the butterfly. But watch for that chip and chase out of their own zone, coming up the near boards.
Robbins with Marconi on him, and again, Robbins looks skyward. It was, we'll get back to that in a sec as Robbins gets it back in the corner again. Cole Smith sliding over McFadden, and again he makes the save on Roosh, who's right there. Roosh spins, and that one goes high. Goes back to Robbins again in the corner. He was the guy that looked skyward, and he was spending a lot of time getting upset with himself in the corner and didn't join the rush back. And it turned into an odd man rush. Sammy Locklear cuts back at the top. Takes the shot, and it's in. The Snipers had players buzzing around the crease as that one rolled out from underneath the glove. Here's Roosh hustling back. Schanbacher.
Great hustle by Schanbacher on that play.
Schanbacher's going to get it again up for Sammy Locklear. Cole Smith on Locklear, steals the ball away. And Robbins trying to poke at it. McFadden goes down, and Robbins. He is a man of many emotions. That is a huge celebration for that goal. In the corner, slamming the stick and getting upset with himself, and then one of the best sellies we've seen in the tournament so far. Nice play to chip it to himself and then reach around McFadden. And here it comes. A couple high fives and some screams, and I think he got the bow and arrow out there at the end. It makes it a 3-1 lead in favor of the Red Light Rebels.
So I think we're going to have to layer in a lion's roar in that when we do our archive video.
That one doesn't miss much from Cameron Eek, the goal scorer for the Snipers. Eek hanging out in front of the crease again, and there's going to be a penalty here. This is what I'm talking about with the size disadvantage, as I believe Hubers is going to go. Not a whole ton of contact, but Hubers is noticeably bigger than Cameron Eek, and they just got tangled up, and Hubers falls. Eek falls, and Hubers goes off.
I think Hubers is looking to his parents with his hands up in the air. What'd I do? The referee gave him a little tap on the back of the head and said, you can go in there. It looked like his stick really got tangled up kind of behind him as he went in to win that ball. And was it Eek who ended up stepping on the stick? It was an interference call because the contact was made when neither player had the ball.
Not sure if it was Eek or Marcus Harris. They're both wearing hoodies that cover their name, yes. And the 91 and the 97 look similar.
And the non-colored in number.
Yeah. And as they call Marcus, we know that's Marcus Harris now. He's the guy with the blue hoodie, and Cameron Eek will be the guy with the red one. Harris chases it down in the corner. They've got a player out in front who was wide open. Sneaking through, that broken down play, but it seems to work as they get the shot on net. Still up for grabs. It bounces over the stick of Gumet, and it's going to go down the floor. Marconi, he's got to get on his horse as Anthony Legault is coming after him.
That ball would not settle down there for any of the Snipers players. seemed like all 5 had an opportunity.
Also after it is Caleb Lockyer, and Owen Lockyer's got to slide over now as he's the only defender back in a 2-on-1. And Marconi did a nice job to get back in position. Albano brings it off the half boards. McFadden down low to make sure it goes all the way behind the net. Abrahams up near wall. Marcus Harris giving chase on Gilmet. Abrahams. He's got Albano chasing him, trying to get in front of Gilmet. The pass eventually goes through, and what a play for Abrahams.
Look at the patience.
That was pretty from the Peewee division, and just like that, this Snipers team, we saw it in their first game against the Rampage. They just won't go away. They've clawed back. It's a 1-goal deficit.
I've been so impressed with the skill at this age group. Look at this patience. He knows he's got his guy. He's just waiting on the goaltender to commit. As soon as he commits, he slides it over. That's an empty net to put her home. This is Peewee age group. Great skill that these kids are showing us.
So how many years have these guys been playing this game?
Well, they do start at the 4 to 6 age group. So a lot of times we do get 3.5-year-olds, 3-year-olds who play. And oftentimes, because if they've started so early, they'll go up to the 7 to 9 age group at 5.5, 6 years old.
Wow. But really, 7-year-old, maybe 4 years, I guess.
It could, yeah. That's not. It's not unheard of.
3-on-2 again. The odd man rushes against the Snipers. They bear down on Dylan McFadden. Calling for the pass on the far side. Banging the stick was Robbins. Owen Day brings it over.
In the ball hockey community, a lot of times we tell parents, we know that you want to have your kids playing ice hockey. And to start, oftentimes you start with power skating, start with a learn to skate program. But you can still supplement that with ball hockey, where the kids are getting their hockey that they're looking for. They're able to work on their stick handling, their shooting. Because when you start with ice hockey, a lot of the times that concentration is on the skating aspect of things. So the stick handling, the shooting, the play with the puck comes secondary because they're just not as comfortable on skates as they would be on shoes. So when they're playing ball hockey, they develop this shooting, stick handling skills, and it's just muscle memory. When they step back on the ice, learning to skate, they've already developed that muscle memory with their passing, their shooting, their stick handling. And parents always tell us it's amazing watching just their confidence transfer onto the ice with the puck because they've been doing it in ball hockey as well.
Well, what impressed me so much, you talked about the patience. That's not something that, I don't know, gets taught, really. It's just the experience. That's something that comes with experience. And like you said, the confidence. And, you know, to see a guy who's maybe played 4 or 5 years of this sport, that's pretty incredible.
That can't be the first situation he's ever been in.
No.
Where that's taken place. He knew what he wanted to do, and he executed. And we're talking about potentially a 9, 10-year-old, 11-year-old player out here.
Well, and these kids are out here today. They're obviously the NHL season is wrapping up, and they wanted to know scores. They wanted to know who scored. You can tell they've been watching that style of game and, you know, picking up stuff from that TV. And there you go, Snipers score again. This time, Jordan Schanbacher, and again, a patience play in the corner.
Are we watching the noon game again?
My goodness.
If I'm a Rebels coach right now, I'm seeing this and just letting the boys know it's okay. We've got lots of time, which I think the coach he's in the bench right now. He's letting them know it's okay.
This time it's not the goaltender that they have to wait for. It's the defender who slides over and he commits to go into the corner, and that opens up the passing lane. And, man, these Snipers teams, especially if some of them are at them, I mean, that's pretty good for their age group. That dangerously close, though, to being too many players, as the last one just jumped onto the bench. This will go for icing. And it really goes back to, I guess, the parents that teach them what they're working on at home and the coaches over on the bench. And And again, these kids that they obviously love the sport that they're playing because, in warm-up they were more concerned did the Ottawa Senators make the playoffs than the game at hand.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I look back to at that same age, and I know I had my favorite team, but did I really understand? Did I really follow to the same extent that these kids seem to?
Well, I grew up as a lacrosse guy, again, mostly because I couldn't skate. I didn't have the skating skills. But for me, looking back, I recognize now that if I had just watched more of the game and started to watch it as opposed to watch it as a fan, watch it as, learning the skills and being able to pick up things that the pros are doing, I would have been a much better player because of it. And I think the amount of coverage that hockey gets in this country and around is the arm goes up. I believe that's going to be a high stick. It doesn't make contact with anything here in ball hockey because it was up. As the ball showed up, he's going to go.
Yeah, and it looks like Sammy knew as soon as he did it. He threw the head to the sky, but it is going to be a 2-minute penalty for high sticking. So the referee's explained to the coach that if the ball is in the vicinity and the stick goes above the shoulder and he waves at it, it is a penalty in our BHi rules. It's with the effort to keep the sticks down, reduce the contact with the heads. Even though the children have helmets and face masks on, that doesn't prevent all potential injuries. So it's another rule that goes into play to help reduce any potential contact with the head.
When I first read that rule, I thought it was more for the upper ages to control some of the other stuff on the floor.
It is. It's in our adult divisions, as you saw in the first leg of the All-Ontario Cup, they don't have to wear helmets, so it does come into play in that especially. But we've just kept it throughout the age groups because these are our graduate kids who become the adult players, and so when they get it in their mindset early on, it's just natural. They take it into the adult divisions as well.
Final 30 seconds of the second period here. It is a Rebels power play. Although in the corner, the forechecker for the Snipers doing a pretty good job. He's going to fly over here now. And coming over to cut that off, Caleb Lockyer. He was trying to feed it through to his partner in front. Final 10 seconds. Because that's out of the reach of Roosh. Big collision down in the boards as both players took almost each other out. Comes up for Smith and time expires. That'll be a minute 13 power play for the Regals, but the Snipers, as they did earlier on this afternoon, have clawed back and tied the score. An exciting final 10 minutes coming your way next.
Canada is the leader in the fire alarm monitoring industry, specializing in the early notification of fire alarm signals to the fire department. Our experienced customer service staff will work closely with you to develop the best solution for your specific monitoring needs, and our CFAA certified technicians are qualified to perform your installation quickly and efficiently. Be sure to choose Fire Monitoring of Canada because saving time saves lives. Visit us at fire-monitoring.com.
Face-off works its way into the sniper zone. Dylan McFadden has taken up residence in the net to our left. Once again, the home team is the St. Kitts Snipers, wearing the yellow jerseys, the red with black lettering. As they go behind the cage of Tim Struick is the Red Light Rebels. They are the visiting team. Right now it makes no difference on the scoreboard as both sides sitting at 3 goals apiece. But it is a power play for the Regals with Sammy Lockyer in the penalty box for a high stick at the end of that period. BHi spring teaser in the Youth Ontario Cup. Peewee Division action on the JVI Sports Network. Today's coverage being brought to you by Bauer. And McFadden unable to cover up for the second time. It's stolen away there, and Marcus Harris giving chase. Hugh Soren had it roll off his stick and thought that Harris was going to go over, and Dylan McFadden does cover up, and we'll look for the clock as well.
We're not that far into the third yet, Dylan.
As shell-shocked as he's been today, it seems like it, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's been staring down odd man rushes since 12 o'clock this afternoon. And to his credit, I mean, for my money, he still saved that first game against Niagara.
Yeah, I don't think that's in any question. That game could have been all Niagara. 5 minutes into the first, it could have been a 3 spot. He kept them, I think it was 1-0 through halfway through, and that's when they were able to tie it up. And you really have to attribute that to Dylan.
Pardon me, I said Cameron Eek was wearing the red hoodie. It's actually black covering his name, but that is Eek that tries to chase that down. Can't get there in time to stop the icing call, and the face-off will go back to the left of McFadden once again. 1.5 minutes gone in this final frame. Again, if we discussed this a few games ago, but if you're just tuning in for the Peewee matchup, if we end in a tie, we will keep it a tie, at least for today. If you tune in tomorrow when we have knockout and medal rounds, we'll play 5-minute overtime and then go to a shootout. But as it stands right now, this would be a 1-point game for each of these teams in the standings. And right in front, McFadden, he's got a delayed penalty coming. And it'll be against the Regals. I think another high stick, maybe?
It was. It was a high stick with the ball going right by the offensive player, and he just reached up and swung at it, resulting in a high stick.
And we'll get another look at it right there. Okay, in the corner. Yeah, as the stick comes up, turned backward, and you could see the player. Again, you could see the look skyward is.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, as you said,
it's one of those. It's a reaction play. That you see that ball coming. It happens at the highest level of men's.
Well, and again, for some of these kids that do play ice hockey, some of them may have just finished their playoffs. In some cases, a couple days ago, where that kind of play is allowed.
You'll see that even in any division, any ice hockey player. The shots are different with the ball versus the puck, the weight of it. Oftentimes when guys come back from playing ice all winter, you notice that their shots are sailing over the net for the first few games. Their stick handling is a little off because they're used to the weight of the puck versus the ball, which is a lighter object.
Marcus Harris tried to do it by himself, and you can hear the Snipers coach urging his defender to get back and beat Albano into the corner. As the Snipers are on the power play, it's going to go in front of McFadden. Oh, boy. Anxious moments again in front of the crease, and again Anthony Legault has another chance. But it just rolls wide. McFadden getting lucky now in this game.
And I believe we're seeing Spencer Smith
and
on the floor.
What does this kid mean to this team as they all lift their sticks and cheer? The guy that scored the hat trick is he's got looks like are those different pads than he had on in the first?
It appears, unless he had them under his pants last time. I can't recall.
Could have been an equipment issue.
Well, what are our odds that he was at ice hockey for a little bit and just came back over here after his ice hockey game to get back into ball
Yeah, some
hockey?
of them didn't finish playoffs a couple days ago. Some of them are still playing.
There are some tournaments going on in the area right now, too. And that is not uncommon.
Well, we did get delayed a little bit in our Bantam game, and if you're a fan of the Snipers, maybe a good thing is 6.5 on the clock. Perhaps wouldn't have made it back in time for the end of this one.
That is a good point because we are right now, we would be finishing up. So we're 2 minutes to the hour.
Yeah, we would be probably in warm-up for the following game, which we will have for you on the JVI Sports Network in the Bantam Division. Through-way muffler against the Red Light Rebels. A different Red Light Rebels than this one Both of us had to take a second look there. Dobbins wins the face-off after it was scrummed in the feet. It's Marcus Harris. It's going to get it through. And a bit of a late change for the Snipers is, I believe, Dawson Abrahams came in.
The late change is what really gave the icing on that. The referee's not going to give advantage when it's a bench issue that caused it.
Here comes Robbins on Sammy Lockyer, and Sammy Lockyer keeps him into the corner. And Robbins' pass intercepted. Here it is, the play they've been using, but passing it away. Marconi not able to get there in time. Pardon me, it's Abrahams in the center. Not only did this team want Spencer Smith back in the lineup, but he wanted to get involved as well, as he pinched in. Maybe a little too much, as now it's a 2-on-0. Spencer Smith does get there, though. And you can see his stick skills as he keeps it down. Palmer Lowe.
This is a bad habit for these Snipers.
Begging and pleading from the Snipers bench.
They sure enjoy pinching, not so much the getting back aspect.
That was a 3-on-2, if not for the coach calling for a line change, and I think they're going to hear about it once they get there. Palmer Lowe, stick is down for McFadden. Where's the ball now as it goes to the far side? And it was all pure skill saves from McFadden in the first game. This time he's getting the lucky bounces to go with him.
He had no idea where that second shot was, but he got enough of it.
Now they get it on the stick of their sniper, Spencer Smith. They're way up respecting the shot, though, in that one. Wow. Off the back cage.
Our Rebels goaltender didn't know what just happened there. He hadn't seen that all game.
And now I think the Rebels fans know why these kids were so excited to see Spencer Smith show up. Dobbin chasing down Schonbacher. Up for Palmerlow again. Palmerlow, Robbins, chipped out by Smith. Spencer Smith looking for an outlet. Finds it in the form of Marconi. Back for Marcus Harris. Harris gets it again after it was shot into the legs of Hubers. And a 3-on-1 as nobody got back again. Robbins in the corner. But again, no, it doesn't come back to hurt them. They're going to end up with a chance out of this. Cameron Eek gets it slashed away by Guillemette. Three and a half minutes remain in regulation time now, as we're still knotted at threes again. If we're still there when the siren goes, we will end a regulation tie. As Eek trying to get that. Owen Lockyer loses it. And just offside on the 2-on-1. Schonbacher was trying to make his way back into the play, but it was just out of his reach, and then it goes for offside anyways. A lot of threes up there on the board. 3-0-1, 3-3 score, third period. And we'll get another check here. Oof, that is close.
Every Sniper's advantage, every Sniper's rush up the floor feels like an adventure when you watch it go the other way. How are they going to get back? Are they going to get back? Somehow they seem to.
Well, sometimes they don't seem to get back, but it doesn't seem to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan McFadden makes a big difference back there as well.
Here's Smith. He's got shooting space, and it's just over top. And if he did play hockey today, it goes back to your point, as those last couple shots, he was picking corners and everything this morning. But now we've seen two shots that have been both high and wide. Giving chase is Marcus Harris. Harris does it all by himself, stops the 2-on-1. 3-on-2 the other way. Abrahams, Osorian gets it off his stick, and another high shot from Smith. Owen Lockyer inside the blue line. Abrahams Got Osori in the corner. And breaking through. Here it comes for Legault. Legault, he's got Marcus Harrison. McFadden this time comes up with the save. It's been relatively quiet compared to what he did this morning in this game so far. But he still gets it. Smith feeds it over. Open cage, and they can't get it behind Sturek. Spencer Smith walking out from behind the goal line. They have an open man up top, rifling the shot. That one just goes wide. Circling over to get underneath of it there. Another shot coming from Spencer Smith. Sturek trying desperately to cover up, but it's dragged out by the Snipers.
Great battle in front by the offensive player and the goaltender.
Marcus Harris tried to get there. It was lifted down the floor, and McFadden thought about coming to play it, but he saw the arm up, and it will go for an icing call. Here is the, what a defensive save. Play. Oh, I thought this was going to be the Marcus Harris one, but no, it is McFadden. My goodness.
He's earned a big meal, Mom and Dad. Good dinner tonight.
Man. Smith up top just keeps that inside the blue line. He's going to stick handle his way, try to go around Hubers. And Spencer Smith sliding through, stick save by Sturek. May have gone off Gilmet in front. Final minute of play, 55 seconds as Sturek holds his ground. Gilmet trying to get it underneath of him, and now they do cover up. And it'll be another face-off in the Sniper zone to the right of Sturek.
Sturek's chance now to really make some key saves for his team. Those are some big saves in our last couple minutes.
I don't know if we're showing the Snipers the rest of the day or if we're going to get a chance to see them tomorrow, but you better tune in. These guys play exciting floor hockey. Robbins gets a chance now for the Red Light Regals. Streaking down, 33 seconds to go. Again, the home side are the Snipers. The visiting team is the Red Light Rebels. Stolen by the Rebels, backhanded. It's still loose. Spencer Smith gets there. 20 seconds to bring it up the floor. Smith has the defender on him, gets the stick in the lane, and they're offside. They got to go touch up. St. Kitts does that, and now they're going to chase down the ball. On the half boards, it comes in front for Guillemette. He's just going to bat it down, and it'll go for icing. McFadden's got the arm in the air again, and that'll stop the clock with 4.0 on the clock. One more shot for a face-off win, and I'm calling a Spencer Smith shot.
We've got a timeout coming from the St. Kitts bench. I have a feeling we're looking to rest one particular boy.
Dylan McFadden.
No. No. He's integral, but I'm thinking Spencer Smith shows himself back out here. Yeah. If we recall in the Rampage game earlier, there was a straight draw, one right back. Spencer Smith, he took a slap shot and was able to score a 5-hole on that.
McFadden has gone to the bench. That's why I made that comment, but it looks like he's going to stay where he is.
I'm hoping he's just cheering because they don't want to lose this point.
Yeah. Fought this hard to keep it, and there he is. Spencer Smith does make his way to the floor, as does, looks like 8 line mates.
One of them.
Yeah, they've got too many,
Still
6.
Oh, I would have. This is surprising. I would have thought someone else would have taken the draw. They're going with a different strategy from last game.
Smith wins it back to the point. There is the shot, and it's wide and to the side. Our first tie of the afternoon, but what a game. The Snipers come from behind again to keep their hopes alive in this tournament. We've seen them with 3 points already today. There's your final. Knotted up at 3s, even the late arrival of Spencer Smith did what he could, but couldn't get them the victory here today. Our next matchup comes to you from the Bantam Division. Throughway Muffler, Red Light Rebels. That will start in mere moments time. Please come back. This is BHi Ball Hockey on the JVI Sports Network, brought to you by Ballard.